Hey guys, welcome to the show tonight. This is my gun room slash gun studio. I do most of my content in here, and I wanted to do a video for a while for setting up your own gun room. And for that, I guess the best I can do is show you how I set up mine, explain the choices I made, why I made them, go through all the features in this room and what makes this room important and significant for what I do in here. So we're gonna cover things from entry security to secure storage to display, tools, other fixed things within the room such as sensors, cameras, and the like, ammunition storage, workshop, lighting, and other rigging systems. I probably won't get much into those because that's kind of just specific to, I guess, the media side of things that I'm doing. But nonetheless, we're going to touch on all the other major aspects of this room, why they're here, and why you might want to consider them for your gun room. All right, let's get into it. All right, first things first, I'm assuming you guys are doing a full-on room because that's the ultimate goal, right? But if you just have a closet or a safe, I mean, if you got a safe that's kind of standalone, put it somewhere, lag it down to the ground. This one is not laid down, this one's floating, but that's because I'm not storing guns in it. But we'll get to that. That one's lagged down. This thing's got a lot of stuff done to that thing. But if you got a safe, just lag it down, put it somewhere safe. That's basically got that covered. If you're in a closet, your door is your primary point of entry, right? So you're gonna wanna secure that first. Lock it, deadbolt. I got a steel door with a steel frame that helps a lot. You can't just kick this thing in. It's gonna take a little more than that. And then as an added bonus, we've got that 24/7 monitored security, which is a big deal, especially where I am with the laws that I'm faced with. If I wanna have this kind of stuff, this kind of setup, with other stuff I'm working towards, that is definitely a necessity. And quick pro tip, the control box for that thing, the thing that holds the cellular system that sends off a distress call to the cops if you bust in, well, that little box is in here. You got 20 seconds. If you bust through my door, you got 20 seconds to bust into this thing, which good luck, before that thing sends a signal off and the cops start rolling. Plus, I find out about it, and, well, you don't want me finding about it either, I guess. We'll put it that way. Anyways, magically, the signal still gets out of this steel box. That is one consideration. If your system, for whatever reason, doesn't get signal in there, it's not going to do you any good. But I got lucky, mine worked. That would probably be a thing to ask your security provider about. Anyways, going away from that kind of stuff, secure your door. Next up is going to be your walls. If you have a closet, whatnot, if it's drywall, someone can just avoid the door that you've decked out, go through the side wall or the back wall, whatever. Quickest thing to do with that, cover the walls in 3/4 inch plywood or some other strong substrate. And as good as wood is, if a guy's got time and a saw, well, consider adding a gun wall system or a rack or whatever else. This one, I chose Galotech for a bunch of reasons, but steel was one of them. 14 gauge steel are these panels. They all fasten into the studs, and it's like that. That's a rock solid addition to your surrounding walls, your second point of entry. Now, if this is where you stop, that's fine. I would recommend for the low-cost security cameras, I installed them after I installed the security system because I was going away for the Christmas holidays last winter, and I was just kind of feeling uneasy. The house was going to be empty at that time, which it almost never is, and I was just like, you know what? I got the security. All the guns are obviously in the safes, not out in the room. But still, I was just thinking, like, you know what? You guys have that in your back of your mind, like, is the thing functioning normally, or did a sensor fail, or who knows? So having that little camera up in the corner, you can see and you can drop in from your phone anytime and just see in real time what's going on. And obviously, nothing happened, but it was super peace of mind, and I was very grateful for that. So now once you get your basic gun room done, you're gonna want a safe, you're gonna want to bolt down to the ground. That was my first safe, actually, was a toolbox. Not a bad idea. It was good for storage. It was just a hassle because I had to layer every gun down and then throw a jacket down and then throw some more guns down. It was a hassle, but it kept things locked up until I saved some money and got myself this safe. And then outgrew that safe, and then that was a safe. And then progressively, the ammo has followed in behind. And I'll explain how the ammo storage works here in a little bit. But once you got a good safe in a secure location like your gun room, get the thing lagged down to the floor. That's going to help you out a lot, and then you're good to go. Maybe throw an anti-tank gun on top for looks. Or if you're gonna go the whole 9 yards, which apparently that term derived from guys loading belted ammunition in fighter jets back in, I think, World War I or II. It was pretty cool. Cool to learn. It was a 9-yard long belt. Anyway, it's just a fun anecdote. But if you're gonna do a vault style safe that's like stuffed into, this was my closet actually. This is not my childhood bedroom, but my bedroom through university and early working my butt off in my business days. And that was my closet. If you guys want to see how this install went, I actually took some videos and stuff, how we got this thing in here, and then subsequently how this all worked out. But that'll be on my Instagram under the Rhino Metals highlight reel. Speaking of which, if you like seeing all this kind of stuff, I post daily on Instagram. Hit me up. I'll put just my tagline down there. But link in the description below. Hit me up on Instagram. I would definitely appreciate a follow over there. So this safe, 6 feet tall, over 4.5 feet wide, over like 27 inches deep, weighs 1,250 pounds. It's insane. It was no small feat getting that in here. And you gotta have some, well, you gotta take precautions if your floor is strong enough, whatnot. And in this case, I left it on blocks. It's all on blocks and then lagged through all that into the actual floor. And the blocks are there so that I can bring a pallet jack in the future and scoop it out if and when I move. So I won't crack the safe today. I got a whole other video going through the safe. If you guys want to check that out, I'll put a link up here. But man, all that space like that really revolutionizes your storage and just super good access. Also, that door is just, the safe is perfectly level, so that door just swings like almost effortlessly. It's super satisfying. So after primary storage, after you got that figured out, I would recommend storage for your ammunition or tool chests, up to you, but I've got storage like at hand ammunition, kind of like all the calibers I'm regularly gonna shoot, like 9mm, 45, 5.7 by 28, 5.56, 7.62 by 39, 300 blackout, 308, and then some kind of bulk packages, and finally 12 gauge at the bottom. So I got a good amount of that. Also, just some less than lethal rubber rounds for the old 40. So that's really handy. I find this is super, if I'm just gonna run to the range, whatever, I just wanna grab a few boxes of this and that is super handy. Now for this guy down here, we keep bulk. So bulk 5.56, bulk 9mm, bulk 223, that stuff. You know, just a good amount, and it's really handy to have it. You don't need it to be as accessible, because basically I just go out of there and I restock this. But nonetheless, that's handy. I'm liking the way this is getting set up. Next, I'm really gonna take you back to a little workshop. Tool storage, like you wanna be able to wrench in your own guns. There's a couple things, it's so handy when you have your tools accessible. You know, you got all the right things, you got the punches, you're not like, you know, trying to use one of these things and then you scuff something up on your gun. I've done that, regrettably. But this way you've got all your stuff in one space. You know, even keep range bag down there. It's just handy to have. That way you're not fussing with everything every time you're gonna go out. Got your good old G96 shop towel, and just have stuff. It's nice to have some racks up around here as well. I've got used more Gallo-Tech just to hold stuff here. I find that's really helpful. I use these Foam Action Sports blocks sometimes to hold stuff if I don't need something really locked down. If I do need something locked down, gotta have a vise. And this little vise, I found it at just a little hardware store randomly. The last one there was on sale. It was 30 bucks. It's Stanley. It's this little tabletop mounted on. This thing is so handy, and it's like perfect just for little gun stuff. I think I posted it on my Instagram. I've got no affiliation with Stanley. I probably should have tried to work something out with them because I probably sold like 100 units. I had so many people asking about the thing, and it was cheap, and it's just very handy, and it's very easy to move and swap around wherever you need it to go. So that's tools, workshop, for cleaning your guns too. I mean, if you got a nice setup that's well, you know, it's ergonomic, it's good to go. You're gonna do your stuff more often. You're not gonna mind it as much. So, and you're not gonna, you know, if a spring goes flying, you're not gonna lose that detent spring or that last roll pin. You know, it's gonna stay in the area here. Always good. And if you, for whatever reason, can't finish, you can leave stuff and know that it's not gonna be moved by your kids or your pet or for whatever other reason. It's going to be pretty safe. I popped this barrel off this grenade launcher here last week for some measurements for a buddy, and I still got my parts right here. And I need to put those back together, but that's an example of that. I felt all right leaving that stuff right there. All right, next we got secondary secure storage. So this is not ammunition. I don't store ammunition here, but I do store other things that are valuable. I've got an Ironworks series safe or not safe, tool chest from Random Metals. This thing is a tank, but it's super convenient. So I keep in there, I keep like Accutac bipods because those things are a pretty penny, but it's just nice. They're in there, they're organized, they're easily accessible. You got a kind of an out of control L-can addiction. That's an awesome place for those as well. Got a spot for a bunch of magazines, though I've pilfered a lot of this. It's up on the wall now. I just kind of got that a little more organized. With the Galatech stuff, a little more handy to access, but you know, cross mags, lots of good stuff in here, just accessible if I need more. What else is worth showing you guys? I got uppers. It's really nice for storing uppers. You can, in these little tiny top drawers, I keep ammunition handy for when I'm doing pictures, things like that, just so it's kind of all right there, which is nice. Some of the more kind of like, I guess you could say expensive or, random mags that I wouldn't necessarily use as much, that are kind of for, not for show, but like drum mags, they fit well in here. Got some actual tools at the bottom. But overall, just very handy, and if you're comfortable with it, you can also really easily store handguns in here too. It's just the perfect depth where I got barrels in here, but you can just drop a handgun. Also, everything in here is all proven, clear, checked, unloaded. We're good to go. But this can just, well, it fits somewhere. Kind of. There we go. Okay, it's in there. So that's kind of handy. You can lay out a whole bunch. They're nicely displayed, easy to hold. It's kind of really convenient. And that brings us to the next thing down the list: vanity, storing your guns, displaying your guns. But we're gonna focus on the organizational component. Having the mags nicely organized at hand, ready to go for the platform. Having the guns just right on this rack. They're easy to get to. This is revolutionary. And no, I don't really leave my stuff out here. I'll put it out for the day or for a video or something like that. But basically it's out here for display for me, for the content side of things. I've got room in the safe, so stuff goes in the safe. It's more secure in there. And that's going to be on your own personal preference. A few more things I want to do to this room before I would be comfortable just leaving stuff out. But I'll leave it at that. The system from Galatech, whether you choose Galatech or there's a whole bunch of other wall manufacturers. I work with Galatech because, well, after about 6 months of hounding those guys, I finally got them to send me some stuff. I said I love their system and I wanted to use theirs the most. And I just really like it. This new brown finish, it's just so slick and smooth. The gray and the tan have more of a little bit rougher of a finish. It's more like it's just powder coated. I don't know what they did to this brown stuff, but it is absolutely, I love it. It's almost like anodized versus Cerakote is how I would compare that feeling. Okay, next most important thing I would say if you're using this gun room for a lot of storage and for working on stuff is you're gonna want some lighting. And I found just track lighting. It's LED track lighting, it's dimmable. You can just move the lights wherever you want to go. I've got some additional big LED things going on here, but I just find it super handy to have these track lights. You can position them, you can, if you want to illuminate that more than this, and you can just throw things around. I find that super helpful, and that was a big game changer for this room, which used to just have one incandescent bulb in the middle of the room, which was awful. I would work at the tool chest, and if I didn't have daylight, I would just cast a shadow over everything, and it was frustrating. I'd be clamping lights to little other lights, whatever I could. So eventually went for the track lights, never looked back. After that, I'm gonna say flooring. Flooring is another important consideration to make. This is a wood floor, which was kind of a soft, it wasn't a hardwood, it was pretty soft. And I was forever dropping things on it, dinging it up, scratching it up, and also risking scratching whatever I dropped on it, which was generally a gun or something. So I just got this, it's like just this rubber on the roll stuff, laid it out everywhere, it looks good. It kind of brings things, I got kind of some crap on the floor I should have vacuumed up, but it really ties the room together, if you know what I mean. And it's a great surface. I can just set stuff down on it, like kind of haphazardly, not really like gingerly like setting it down. I don't have to worry about damaging anything or bumping anything or scratching the floor. It's great. Although it does stink for a while, it's got that rubber smell. I'd recommend. I rolled it out on the hot deck, just in the light. It was in the winter when I got this stuff, but I just laid it outside in the sun for a few hours, and it just really cooked out a lot of that smell. Otherwise, it still stinks, but it airs out over time. It's not the worst thing. All right, guys, and finally, if this place isn't already your, de facto man cave or your safe space, your getaway space, you just want to do your own thing, play with your guns, you can turn it into kind of a man cave by adding elements like just cool gun posters or whatever you're into. So I got some HK stuff here, and definitely digging that. My room is kind of also doubling as, I guess, the fitness room, just the weightlifting room for now as well. It's really handy with this floor and the bench. Kind of, you can sit in it if I'm gonna work on guns, whatever. It kind of found its way in here, and then everything else kind of followed it, and it's been working out really well. And that, I think that pretty much is it. Maybe I'll take a flyby of a few guns. I was going to say I'll do a longer video on the Galotech wall itself. I'll go through more of the hangers and the different setups you can do. It's super modular. I really dig it. There's a lot of great hardware for helmets, for nods. This is a thermal, plate carriers, all sorts of stuff. A couple bags here from Save Your Equipment. These are really nice soft bags for the range. We'll do a video on decking out secondary storage. Again, like speaking of nods and thermal, great place to keep that stuff. Mine is a little disorganized. I think I showed you more of my organized drawers. I need to go through here and just finish setting it up, and then I'll show you guys how I've done so. What else do you guys want to see? The semi-automatic M60. This thing made by, I think, US Ordnance or Desert Ordnance. Kind of the same. But awesome rig. Wolf Supplies up in Canada got the thing sorted out for me. We got the AWSM, the big brother to the AWM. Got a honkin' big Hensoldt optic on there, 72mm objective, just ridiculous. G28, and then the Lynx. This gun is so freaking cool. The Bullpup semi-automatic 50 BMG, I would swear that is probably the most shootable semi-automatic 50 cal gun out there. It is, I love it. And these zero compromise optics, this is their 4x20, 36 mil tube. This thing is just gorgeous. It's super crystal clear in a spur QD mount with a little RMR, an RDS mount on it. Got a little Minox unit up there. It's pretty cool. Thank you, Tom from Go Big Tactical. Take a look at a few more things. The PWS, the Mark 107, the Diablo. I also really like, just really quickly here, these Galotech mounts. This is their vertical, the vertical storage setup. So you got these cups down here. You can set them back to how you want the gun, vertically ladder. If you want it stood off from the back to accommodate an optic, and then you can come in here too. And instead of needing different, just fixed mounts with different fixed positions, they're adjustable, which I really like. But look at that. Thing's beautiful. Just beautiful. A ton of fun to shoot. Got a Knights SR15 with the SR16 E3 upper. Thing's freaking cool too. I love SPRs. SPRs are just the best time. B&T, this gun here. B&T is seriously underrated. They're finally getting into the foray now. People are starting to realize how great they are. This is the 308. It's got an 18.9 inch barrel. This is their DMR, I guess, their DMR rifle or whatever you want to call it. But this thing has some potential as a scar killer. It's light, reasonably, well balanced. It's like the balance point is right at that hinge pin right there. And the action is so freaking smooth. Very modular as well. You can swap out the stock, super simple, and handguards aren't horrible. Good time. I got a whole video series on this thing. If you want to learn more, go check that out. At this point, guys, I'm rambling. If you like my content, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Do all the things. They all really do help out the channel, getting the word out there. Again, hit me up on Instagram at arm.and.gun. And if you really want to go the extra mile, hit me up on Patreon, a couple extra perks on there, and you can message me directly. Definitely appreciate the support. I get asked all the time, what do I do for work? How do I afford all this stuff? And the answer is, I get asked this easily once a week. Nothing special. I make about 60 grand US a year. And the trick was, well, now I'm married and I've got more obligations, I guess my disposable income has taken a bit of a hit, not to mention COVID, but maximize that disposable income you have every month. Basically, I was that guy that was super thrifty and saved every penny. Except I didn't save every penny. I spent every penny that I saved on guns. And over the course of about 5 years, well, this is what you get. And my job also entailed a lot of traveling, so I had I had like next to nothing for rent and next to nothing for living expenses because I was on the road all the time. So that made the difference as well. I didn't drive a fancy car at that point. Still don't drive a fancy car. I've made the decision to do the gun thing, and no regrets. So anyways, thanks a ton, guys. It was fun doing this video. I hope the moving around wasn't too bad. I know some guys can't stand that. And if that's the case, let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can do. Well, this was my video. So like it or lump it, that's what it was. And I hope to see you guys all next time. Thanks a ton, guys. Arm&Gun out.